Okay, so we're on the alignment tab of the career page. And the first things you're going to see here are, this comes from your focus plan, but it's just information about you. And if you hit the edit button, you can change it. You can see I got a little wordy there. It shows an introduction to you, your purpose statement, and your values. That's what that's for. Now, over here on the right are your different alignment plans. The most current one will be on top, and it is the most current one whose parts you see down here below. On each one of these, you can edit the current plan by clicking on that section. It'll show you how you rated yourself, and then if you hit the edit button, you can edit it. So what are we looking at here? On the left, you're going to look at your previous plan if you had one. If you've not had one before, you can leave this part blank. But you just look at what you said you were going to do and did you do it and how well, and you rate yourself on it. The focus plan alignment scores is how well your efforts promoted the focus plan of the organization, which that's, you've seen it, this little one-page thing that explains what the organization is about. The ideal team player. There are certain things that ideal team players do or don't do, and you simply rate yourself on those things. And then you have comments. What do you rate yourself high on? What do you rate yourself low on? And the 5 keys to thriving. This is a way for you and your supervisor to discuss how you're doing it with the organization in general. Are you thriving there, or is there something amiss? These things are not shared with anybody other than you and your supervisor. Now, the things on the right, those are shared with everybody, and they're pretty straightforward. The roles and responsibility, those are set by your supervisor. Yes, you can edit them, but they'll be replaced by what your supervisor has set up for you previously the next time you do a plan. Okay. Your goals and KPIs, key performance indicators. That's what you're supposed to, how you're being measured, okay, for success. And you have a right to know it, and it should be very clear. Then when we go through a TAP plan, you'll see that in the end, you come up with a 3 to 6 month plan. This is what I'm going to do for the next 3 to 6 months. And this is what you will rate yourself on how well you accomplish it 3 to 6 months from now, the next time you do a TAP plan. And then the last one is, it's optional. It's just who you serve and how you serve them. And it just helps you realize how much of an influence you have in the organization. That's how this all looks on this page. Now we're going to start a new alignment plan just so you can get an idea of how this looks when you're actually filling it out. And again, this is going to be an overview, but you have a status, and if you hold over the question mark, it tells you what every status means. Yes, you can make these private. Now, this is an interesting section. If you would like other teammates than your supervisor to be able to review your plan and review you as a teammate, you simply add them in here, okay? And then they'll be able to. You have to tell them that they have that opportunity, or they probably won't discover it, but that's where you can give people that opportunity. And that's a great way to get more feedback from more peers, which helps you learn and grow. All right. So the first section is your roles and responsibilities. This comes from what your supervisor filled out for you, and it should be pretty clear. It's here for your reference. Yes, you can edit it, but remember, next time this you create a TAP plan, it's going to be replaced with what your supervisor put in there. The next section is simply where you explain how well you think you did at fulfilling your goals and your key performance indicators. Then we talk about your focus plan, and we will look at every one of these with a little bit more depth, but the company's focus plan and how you impacted it. That's what this section is about. Here's the ideal team player and the things that ideal team players do or don't do, and you rate yourself on it and comment on that. This is the 5 keys to thriving. It's just if you're doing well on all these, you're probably loving your job, okay? And your job is likely loving you. And then this section is where you fill out, what your future plans are, your three highest priorities for the next 3 months, how you're going to do it, and maybe whose help you need to succeed, okay? And then the last one, and this is completely optional, is your who you impact and how. And then there's a place for you and your supervisor to sign off on it. So that's the overview of the TAP plan. And I hope you can see how effective it is. If you go through this with your supervisor, you'll know exactly what your supervisor expects. They'll know what you're going to do, what you've committed to doing. They can come back and say, "Hey, you said you were going to do this. Are you doing it?" And it is it brings tremendous alignment and clarity to the situation. So that's the TAP plan overview.